I'm particularly delighted to welcome all of you here to the European Parliament to join with us in celebrating 21 years of committed digital agenda cooperation between various regions throughout the European Union and indeed further into Norway and into Iceland. This is, of course, they're all participating in the ERNACT, and that's the European Regions Network for the applications of communications technology. And what some of those might not know, that I was still a member of the local authority back when it was first established and was here in Brussels a few times. So Rina, who's chairman of ERNACT, you're not the first Donegal person. So those of you who've had the opportunity of visiting the exhibition, it'll be there for another few hours, at the end of the left of the entrance, and of course the many who attended the meeting today, you'll be fully aware of the wide network of partner regions which I've referred to, and those have been established by ERNACT throughout the Union into Norway and into Iceland. And over the period of 21 years, ERNACT have helped in no small way to decentralise the benefits of information society to regions across Europe. And if you look at the regions at the stand, there are a lot of them in the periphery of Europe. And while geographically there's very little you can do about your location, because we all think wherever our location is the centre of the world. But ERNACT have helped to bring those regions through information technology into the centre of Europe. So those regions are not at the major disadvantage they were at before prior to information technology. If I look in my own country, in my own county, in Donegal, where Donegal County Council and Derry City Councils have worked very closely together. Not since the Good Friday Agreement. They have been working closely together for 21 years because they saw the benefits of cooperation back 21 years ago. And of course the main role of Interleg, of the ERNACT, is to help the councils to stimulate uptake of information and communications technology, whether it be broadband, whether it be internet, online services, and to do that within the Gateway Initiative. And of course it fulfills the role by developing and shaping the partnerships with organisations in other European regions through their network. And of course Galway County Council, and of course that's the Commissioner's home, the Western Regional Authority and NUI Galway, they're actively involved in ERNACT. So all of those partnerships, they provide projects, funding and access to know-how to help make rural areas a more outward facing and technologically advanced region. I would like to thank Colm McColgan, who has headed up ERNACT for very many years. We had a meeting here in Brussels some time ago when Rina Donaghy invited me, and Martin Farn, who's also here, and it was decided that this was the place to celebrate 21 years of ERNACT. And I'm delighted that you worked so well with our friends here in the European Parliament, and particularly with Eamon in my office, and Marion Boyce, who is part of Colm's dedicated team that put all of this together. So I would now like to thank all of you for attending and to welcome the Commissioner, who of course, who's the Irish Commissioner, so that was she's special, but more particularly so that she's the Commissioner for Research, Innovation and Science. I now invite Moira Geoghegan-Quinn to address you. Moira.
Chahirli, aval go Parliament na Europa, a chorlórí kunde, agus aval go na régiún, tá baintach le ERNACT agus roiinúisle. Bhile mar dúsará gohfuil me fíorhuich a socht cuin chuire ála bhead seantrúna. Ócáid fíortháhachtach íon ócáid seo is ócáid lábrethe, háiríre, bliana agus fich, táhá chealóra, ach ócáid specialta go fad agus amháin se le cóibrú idir na régiún fud na Europa. First of all, I'd like to thank Pat the Cope for using all of his wily tricks to get me here this evening. I told him already that I spent the day at the EU South Africa Summit, and so we had a very busy, very heavy day discussing cooperation with them. So it's very nice to have an opportunity to be here to celebrate with Councillor Rena Donaghy, the chairperson, with Colin McColgan, the general manager, and with all the representatives of all the regions who are here to ask me to participate in the first 21-year celebration of ERNACT is a real privilege. Of course, as we know, it was jointly founded in 1991 by Donegal County Council and Derry City Council, but it has its origins in an EU-funded interregional innovation action. And I'm very pleased, as Pat mentioned, that my own county, County Galway, was a founding member through the participation of Galway County Council. The ERNACT network is very impressive because it has extended to cities and regions in Spain, in Sweden, in the Czech Republic, and in Romania. So the north, south, east and west, as it were, of the EU. And I think it demonstrates the capacity of local and regional and indeed city authorities to establish and to manage complex innovation networks that span the EU. ERNACT, of course, is also an excellent example of how the European Commission can support these authorities to be a catalyst for innovation within their regions and indeed to network with their peers across Europe. And of course, I worked very closely with Micheál Ó Crothair and his team in the Committee of the Regions, and they also have managed to be able to link in and work with us to encourage the further development of regional cooperation, which I feel is so important. ERNACT has focused on developing and transferring information technology for people and for businesses, and approaches to broadband deployment that reach right across the borders and between regions. And these solutions have been applied in areas such as the public services, in tourism, in energy efficiency, in environment, and in business services. You celebrate your birthday at a time of economic crisis and great challenges for all of Europe, but you are part of the solution. Research, innovation, and technologies like ICT are essential, I believe, to getting our economy back on track. And both the public and private sectors have realised as much. The EU member states that are investing more in research and innovation are helping to reduce the adverse impacts of the crisis. And despite current pressures on all of the public purses, 12 member states have increased their public R&D investment and spending since 2010. 13 member states have introduced tax incentives to stimulate private investment in R&D, and no fewer than 16 member states have launched public-private partnership programs. As for the private sector, the top EU businesses expect their investments in research and development to grow by an average of 4% per year between now and 2014. Now that shows, I believe, the importance that these companies, quite correctly, are giving to R&D as a way of securing their future growth. The ICT obviously is showing the way, and R&D investment in this sector is expected to grow by 11% per year on average. ICT is the main driver in making the European economy a knowledge-based economy and a smarter economy, and will be fully supported by our new research and innovation programme, Horizon 2020. Under that programme, we're proposing €13.7 billion in targeted support for the key enabling and industrial technologies that underpin innovation across different industries and different sectors. And that includes ICT, as well as nanotechnologies and advanced materials, biotechnology, advanced manufacturing processes, and space. The successful mastering and deployment of enabling technologies like ICT is crucial for Europe's productivity and innovation capacity, and to address, of course, the societal challenges that we face. So Europe has to remain at the forefront of innovation in ICT, and we need local and regional authorities to contribute actively and effectively to this objective. And one very practical way they can do this, for instance, is by using the public procurement of IT services to support innovation. There is much untapped potential here, and there is scope to deliver better public services at a better price through innovation. Public-private partnerships, or PPPs as we know them now, can also help to make public services and private businesses smarter, that is to say, more intelligent, more efficient and more sustainable. The Future Internet Public-Private Partnership, which was launched in May, is a good example of a technology platform operating at a European level that is aimed at securing our competitiveness in future internet technologies and at supporting the emergence of future internet-enhanced applications with benefits, of course, for the wider society. Achieving the objectives of the digital agenda for Europe is a prerequisite to achieving both an online digital single market and more broadly an inclusive knowledge society in Europe. Other smart initiatives, of course, are also up and running. In July this year, the Commission launched the Smart Cities and Communities European Innovation Partnership, whose aim is to pool resources of many different types of actors to support the demonstration of new ideas in energy, in transport and in ICT in urban areas. Relevant industries, notably the ICT sector, are working together with cities to combine their technologies to address the needs of cities. And this will enable innovative, integrated and efficient technologies to roll out and indeed to enter the market more easily. Research infrastructures, the facilities, the resources, the organisational systems and services that are used by scientists and engineers are another key element of support for ICT already under the present framework programme, the 7th framework programme, FP7, and of course also in the future under Horizon 2020. ICT-based infrastructures underpin all kinds of collaborative research work. For example, HEAnet in Ireland has been one of the pioneers in Europe in developing cross-border fibre optic connections for research and education. Up-to-the-minute communication technologies and services help us to ensure that our researchers and our engineers have access to the resources that they need for their own work, but also for collaboration with their peers. So we've made sure that Horizon 2020 will help and support the linking of research infrastructures on the ESFRI list with their regional partner facilities. We're very keen in the Commission to ensure open access to research infrastructures at both a national and a regional level. And ICT has a key role, obviously, to play here. ERNACT has its roots in an inter-regional innovative action supported by the European Regional Development Fund. And you are proof indeed of the benefits to be gained from ensuring a good match and real synergies between cohesion policy and EU-level support for research and innovation through the digital agenda and Horizon 2020. We place great importance in the Commission on this link, and we will do all that we can to ensure even better synergies between these policies in the future. Today we're celebrating a 21st birthday, but ERNACT came of age a long time ago, and I've no doubt that you'll have a very long and active future. I think that you're very well placed to take advantage of the new opportunities that are available under Horizon 2020, the digital agenda and cohesion policy, to carry on, first of all, but to expand the valuable work that you do in promoting and deploying ICT in our regions. Over the last 21 years, you've helped to connect cities and regions in the 4 corners of Europe, and I obviously wish to congratulate you on all that you've done and wish you continued success into the future. Gura Mahabi.
The Commissioner, and I have no doubt but that while you had a very comprehensive and extensive presentation, what will stand out in the minds of most is the 13.7 billion. And all will be anxious on how that can be accessed. And of course, ERNACT have been there for 21 years at a time when that type of funding wasn't available. You have laid the foundations, and of course it'd be important that you build on that. But Commissioner, thank you very much. I think it was very appropriate that you were here as the Irish Commissioner, but also here as Commissioner with your responsibilities. I now call on Soren Maxim, who's from the West Region, Romania, short contribution, and then of course Rena Donny, who's the chairperson, will return thanks. Soren.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Commissioner and honored guest. Sorry. On behalf of the ERNACT network, I would like to thank you for agreeing to make this important contribution to our 21st anniversary event. I come from the region west of Romania, and our region is the newest member of the ERNACT network. West Romania is a dynamic region based on the strong ICT and automotive sector, coupled with the skilled labor force and favorable location on the European and international corridors. In this context, on the new challenges of 2014-2020 planning, we have already begun the process of identifying our development priorities based on the smart specialization approach. We are very aware that for achieving our long-term vision and goals, we have to expand our efforts by using not only the regional operating program, which is handled by us now, but also in a complementary way to connection to other regions and source of innovation, research and business. This is the main reason why we took the decision to join ERNACT network and achieve result-oriented network on the field of digital agenda and innovation that can provide us within the European-wide connection to help implement our development priorities. We are also a border region, and as many other regions in the ERNACT, we have bordered with Serbia, Hungary, and which we need to cooperate to fulfill, develop our region in the context of the Danube strategy. Today, Commissioner, you outline a number of facets of the European Union policy regarding the smart specialization, digital agenda, and innovation union. I particularly welcome your signal for closer cooperation at the regional level between Cohesion and Horizon 2020 programs. This is important, not just in West Romania, but also in the most advanced region in Europe, where there is a need for the cohesion funds, particularly territorial cooperation, to become more involved in supporting projects required to deliver the digital agenda. These include learning between regions in models for deploying high-speed broadband, open innovation or living labs, digital media and open data to help stimulate public sector and social innovation. I strongly believe that this intervention will impact in the next years to speed the change in both public and private sectors. I would like to conclude, Commissioner, by saying that our network, ERNACT, it's a very good example of how the European Commission has successfully supported local and regional authorities to be a catalyst for innovation within the region and to network with their peers across Europe. ERNACT demonstrates in this period the capacity of local, regional and city authorities to establish and manage complex network, innovative systems and that span European regions and member states. And finally, that our network of regions is ready to play its part in ensuring that Europe meets the goal for Europe 2020. We'll send you a document, a printing document to validate our meeting today. And I want to thank you, Commissioner. Your words are inspiring us, and I hope that we, ERNACT, we will inspire you and the European Commission. Thank you very much.
Soren, thank you very much for outlining the benefits of Interact to your region. And of course, I know that with all of your colleagues, you will face the challenges in the years ahead. Now, before calling on Rena Donaghy, who is the chair of the Inter-Regional Management Committee, I will not have the opportunity again, but I want to welcome all the officials who are here from the various regions, and of course, I see in particular one who was working until 10 o'clock last night in his local authority, our County Manager Seamus Neely, who flew out this morning, and Michael O'Heaney, who's a neighbour of the ministers from Galway, and all of the officials who are here. So to thank all of you, and of course, I think he describes himself as the most important Irish MEP has just arrived, and we all concur with that. No points for answering who it is. That's our own Brian Crowley. Brian, you're very welcome as well. So, Rena, I'll give you the floor. Thank you.
Commissioner Mary Geoghegan, MEPs, partners of ERNACT, officials, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a very long day for a lot of you, and as Pat rightly said, a lot of you were up early this morning getting early flights and that, and have been travelling and are very tired at this stage. So I just want to thank everybody who participated in our birthday celebrations, particularly to Mary Geoghegan, who took time out of her very busy schedule to be with us here this evening, and as you can see, she's in no hurry whatsoever. I want to thank MEP Pat the Cope. Pat was a big cog in our wheel. I rang Pat up to ask him would he help to organise this. I told him what we were about, what we intended doing, and Pat said, leave it with me and I'll ring you next week. So true to his word, 3 days later, Pat rang me up. What is it you intend to do? I told him, and of course it all happened from there. So I want to particularly thank Pat the Cope Gallagher. I want to thank Colin McColgan, who's the manager of ERNACT, and his staff, who put hours and hours of work into organising this. You really, really did, and you made a good job of it, so thanks very much for that. It's dangerous to start listing and naming people, but I do want to thank anybody who helped in any way in our preparations and in our birthday celebrations. And there is dinner organised for later on this evening, and you're all very welcome to come to our dinner. It's very close to here, and, and we would like to have you. So here's to happy birthday to ERNACT, 21 years, and we hope to see you back at our 50th.